What up, RedTop gang? RTG coming at you high like an RPG. Hey, y'all see what we getting ready to jump. First off, Lupe is probably top 5 artists for me all time. I literally have no problem calling him the GOAT of rap, period. He does so many things at such a high level. Freestyle. When he wants to write, he writes. Ride any beat. Metaphors, wit, double entendres, triple, quadruple. He might even have cinco entendres. If that's even, I don't know what you call it, a 5-time entendre. He might have those somewhere up in the catalog as well. But longevity, he's been doing it for so long. He's been mentioned with the greats at one point, and then he just does what he wants, man. That's real hip hop, man. So as y'all seen that I did the song called I did a reaction to actually. I have several Lupe reactions as y'all see here. Some of my favorite ones are down here, like Sled 'em, Shoes, things like that. I did the Royce beef, Hustlers, Kiosk and Precious Things are like 2 of my fucking absolute favorites at this point. But as I came up here, I checked out Put You On Game, did the reaction to that. And then someone was like, hey, you got to check out Pills. And then from the comments in Pills is when I get privy to, like, The Cool is one of my favorite albums ever, but I didn't know that there was a whole story that went with it. First off, I just found out that my cool is basically Michael Young history. I was like, nah, hell no. I know why he had to do me like that. So somebody gave me the orders. The Pills and Put You On Game is last. The Pills is first, Put Your Game is last. So what I've just did the Pills. So I'm going to go in order now. The next one up is, as you see, we getting ready to do He Say, She Say. I guess this is the beginning. This is the beginning of Michael Young. Let's go. Now, it's been a very long time since I've heard any of these, and some of them I don't even know if I remember hearing. So it is what it is. We're gonna go through. I'm hearing it as if I'm hearing it for the first time now. Let's go.
I can't, I won't, I can't, I won't let you leave. I don't know what you want from me.
She said to him, I want you to be your father. He's your little boy, and you don't even bother. Like brother without the aura, and he's starting to harbor. Cool on food for thought, but for you, he's a star.
Why is he like that? Why is Lupe got to be like he don't even bother? Like brother without the aura, like brother without the aura, it spells bother basically. But why is he got to be so why is he technical? That technical basically, like
brother without the aura, he's your little boy, and you don't even bother. Like brother without the aura, and he's starting to harbor. Cool on food for thought, but for you, he's a starver. Starting to use red markers on his work. His teacher said they know he's much smarter, but he's hurt. Used to hand his
starting to use red marker on his work. You know, the red mark, when they red marked you, it was wrong. But the teacher saying, I know he's much smarter. Like he's getting this stuff wrong, but I know he can do it basically. And then if we go to the beginning, it's starting from the lack of fathering, basically. Let's go. Let's go.
Cool on food for thought, but like
he's starving, he's hungry, no father. You know, money's probably harder to come by. He's starving, he's hungry. That's food for. Let's go.
Father, he's your little boy, and you don't even bother. Like brother without the aura, and he's starting to harbor. Cool on food for thought, but for you, he's a starver. Starting to use red markers on his work. His teacher said they know he's much smarter, but he's hurt. Used to hand his homework in first, like he was the classroom starter. Burst in tears, let him know she sees. Now he's fighting in class. Got a note last week to say he might not pass. Asked me if his daddy was fighting in the classroom smarter, but he's hurt. Used to hand his homework in first, like he was the classroom starter. Burst of tears, let him know she sees. Now he's fighting in class. Got a note last week to say he might not pass. Asked me if his daddy was sick of us, cause you ain't never pick him up. You see what his problem is? He don't know where his papa is.
Wow. What? It's like, damn, what? This man is a minute in, and it's damn near like you don't need no more to feel 100%. Like, to lay anything more into this is literally overkill at this point, because in that 1 minute, you got so much that you can just go reminisce and think about. Like, what? Little kid they had the parents there at one point. Something happened that's not there. You notice the decline in his work in his school. They say he used to turn his work in first. Like he took pride in that. But then when his daddy was gone, daddy wasn't coming to pick him up. You know, he started harboring feelings, basically. I'm seeing the beginning of the streets and the game now. He had to turn to something, but something had to grab him in, basically. Okay, I'm seeing the connection now. Wow. Damn.
They might not pass. Ask me if his daddy was sick of us, cause you ain't never pick him up. You see what his problem is? He don't know where his papa is.
That's deep.
No positive male role model to play football or build railroad models. Is making the hole and you been digging it, cause you ain't been kicking it since he was old enough to hold bottles. He wasn't supposed to get introduced to that. He don't deserve oil railroad is. No positive male role model to play football or build railroad models. Is making the hole and you been digging it, cause you ain't been kicking it since he was old enough to hold bottles. He wasn't supposed to get introduced to that. He don't deserve to get used to that. Now I ain't asking you for money or to come back to me. Some days it ain't sunny, but it ain't so hard. Just breaks my heart when I try to provide, and he say, mommy, that ain't your job. To be a man, I try to make him understand that I'm his #1 fan. But it's like you born from the stands. You know the world is out to get him, so why don't you give him a chance?
Man, hey, God, I've never heard this one before. I don't know how I've never heard this one. I've never heard this one before. What? Damn.
Like you born from the stand. I try to make him understand that I'm his #1 fan. But it's like you born from the stands. You know the world is out to get him, so why don't you give him a chance? It's like,
so you know the world is out to get them. Like, as men in this world, you know they are out to get us, which means you have little kids, especially boys, you know the world is out to get them. So why don't you give them a chance by being around, basically being present? Like, just your mere presence can change a lot. That's deep, man.
From the stands, you know the world is out to get him, so why don't you give him a chance? It's like,
I can't, I won't, I can't, I won't let
Give him a
you
chance. That's deep. That's deep.
Now, I don't know what you want from me. What you want from me?
So he said to him, I want you to be a father. I'm your little boy, and you don't even bother. Like, brother without the aura, and I'm starting.
Hold up.
So he said to him,
I'm sorry, I got lost in that first. I wasn't even ready for that second. I'm like, that first verse had me like so deep in thought, basically. Damn, man. I wasn't even ready for the second verse. Like, he could have literally probably done a song with the second verse. A whole separate song.
So he said to him, I want you to be a father. I'm your little boy, and you don't even bother. Like, brother without the aura, and I'm starting to harbor. Cool on food for thought, but for you I'm a starver. Starting to use red markers on my work. My teachers say they know I'm much smarter, but I'm hurt. I used to have my home.
Wait a minute. The first verse was like the mom talking. And now this is the son. I'm your son, but you don't even. Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
My teachers say they know I'm much smarter. Like, brother without.
Know what you want.
Too much.
From me. What you want from me?
Hey, he paused heavy, man.
I want you to be a father. I'm your little boy, and you don't even bother. Like, Brother without the aura, and I'm starting to harbor. Cool on food for thought, but for you I'm a starver. Starting to use red markers on my work. My teachers say they know I'm much smarter, but I'm hurt. I used to have my homework in first, like I was the classroom starter. Burst to tears, let him know he sees. Now I'm fighting in class. Got a note last week to say I might not pass. Kids ask me if my daddy is sick of us, cause you ain't never picked me up. You see what my
the kids, boy, the kids be the ones basically that kind of get to you. You see the other kids with their dad, and they just like, hey, why your dad never comes around? Hey, that can burn, that can etch a trail so deep inside you that you never even come back from it, man. That's deep. That is deep, man. Wow.
Kids ask me if my daddy is sick of us, cause you ain't never picked me up.
That's
you see what my problem is, that I don't know where my papa is. No positive male role model to play football, to build railroad models. Is making the hole and you been digging it, cause you ain't been kicking it since I was old enough to hold bottles. Wasn't supposed to get introduced to that. I don't deserve to get used to that. Now I ain't asking you for money or to come back to me. Some days it ain't sunny, but it ain't so hard. Just breaks my heart when my mama try to provide, and I tell her that ain't your job.
Damn.
To be a man, she try to make me understand that she my #1 fan, but it's like you born from the stands. You know the word
ain't #1 fan. I've heard that in the song #1 fan as well. But the way this is being laid out, this is wild, man.
Understand that she my #1 fan, but it's like you born from the stands. You know the world is out to get me. Why don't you give me a chance? It's like
I can't
talk to him.
I won't let you leave. Now, I don't know what you want from me.
what you want from me. Oh.
I won't let you leave.
Girl, I don't know what you want from me.
No,
yeah. I don't
I won't.
know what you want from me. What you want from me.
Hey, that thing hits in the solar plexus right there, man. Because I didn't grow up with a father, and I know that I vowed to always be in my children's life because of that aspect right there. Like I've always wanted, like, what if my dad was there? Like, you can't shake that thought. Like, you can say, yeah, I grew up just fine without him, but I can't shake the thought of, what if my dad was there? Like, for better or worse, would it have been better? Would it have been worse? Like, what could it have been? Would I love any different? What would be the difference if he were there to some, like, real degree, basically? Like I said, even if it's like picking them up on a consistent basis, like, what if? You can't shake it, man. Can't shake it, but that thing deep right there. He say, she say, like, he say, she said the mom, and then he say from the son talking to the dad. But I see how this got tied in, because it's like, here's the little boy, here's the boy, he's growing up, that, at some point the daddy splits. But then I'm also confused because it also made reference to where, since he was big and old enough to hold a bottle, well, he wouldn't even been in school at that point. So something else changed along the way. Was he gone while he was old enough to hold a bottle, or did he leave at some point later on, like, after he was in school, but then his grades went bad? It's like it reflected like his father leaving. So I'm kind of missing a tie-in, I feel, there, basically, of when the dad actually left, basically, when the dad was no longer in the picture. But as you see, the whole Michael Cool Young history is basically, it's the streets versus the game. The streets and the game, basically. And as you see, there's no male figure, no promising male figure, no one out throwing the football with him, trying to teach him and get him on the right track. So that only leaves usually one or two ways, the streets and the game, for him to fall off into. Something has to grab the little boy, and he's going to gravitate to something eventually. Damn. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. That's deep. That's deep. When this gets to about, say, 300 plus views, I will go ahead and drop the next song, which would be The Cool. Says that, but it says the song not on the album. Okay, so that's what we're gonna be looking for, man. Peace. Hey, thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and then comment down below.